34 miles long north to south and about 10 miles across at its widest point. However, NASA only uses a very small percentage of all this land, less than 10%. That's it. Most of this land remains undeveloped in its natural state. You see, ladies and gentlemen, shortly after the establishment of the John F. Kennedy Space Center, the Merritt Island National Wildlife Refuge was established to manage Kennedy Space Center property not used by NASA. Because this property is located at the border between the temperate and subtropical regions, means that it is a very important area for many species of plants and animals. The refuge provides habitat and protection for migratory birds, threatened and endangered species, and native wildlife diversity. More than 500 species of wildlife call this gentle but untamed land home. This unique relationship the refuge shares with NASA is proof that nature and technology can peacefully coexist and thrive. And the refuge serves a dual purpose. Number one, of course, it protects the ecology of the wetland environment. And number two, it provides a valuable safety and security buffer zone around the launch complex. Now, please turn to page 17 in your books. Page 17. Located east of the Kennedy Space Center, on a barrier island fronting the Atlantic Ocean, we have Cape Canaveral Air Force Station. The barrier island, that elbow of land on page 17, that's known as Cape Canaveral. Cape Canaveral Air Force Station is one of America's launch sites for expendable launch vehicles. Unmanned rockets that carry commercial, military, and NASA payloads into space. Look along the right side of that elbow of land on page 17 and you'll see some of the different launch complexes along the coast. So there's two separate facilities out here, ladies and gentlemen. Many people like to think of this whole area as the Cape, but technically that's not correct. Remember, Kennedy Space Center is located on Merritt Island. Cape Canaveral Air Force Station is located next door on Cape Canaveral. Two separate facilities side by side. Now, not all of the vehicles that have been launched from Cape Canaveral were unmanned. Cape Canaveral is actually where America's human spaceflight program began. Project Mercury, the United States' first manned space program. There were 6 manned flights, 1 astronaut per flight. All 6 were launched from the Cape. Look at the pictures on page 17 and you'll see where. Gemini, NASA's second manned space program. There were 10 manned flights, 2 astronauts per flight. All 10 were launched from the Cape. Again, look at the pictures on page 17 and you'll see where. The first manned Apollo mission, Apollo 7, was also launched from the Cape. And Apollo 7 was the last manned mission launched from the Cape. After Apollo 7, that's when NASA started launching astronauts from Merritt Island, Kennedy Space Center, Launch Complex 39, right next door. So we have not launched astronauts from the Cape since Apollo 7, October 11th, 1968. That was the last manned launch. Since that time, it's been unmanned launch vehicles only. Now, before NASA even came into existence, the different branches of the military were test firing experimental rockets. Oh, manatees off to your left, manatees off to your left. Just the edge of the water.